Welcome to Sonoma here for the Stampede Racing League race number 5 of quarter number 2. And tonight we're gonna have a little shortened event here. So due to the lack of car count, we're only gonna have 6 cars on the racetrack. And tonight we're only gonna have 14 laps tonight. So instead of the scheduled 44, we're only gonna have 14 laps tonight. So it'll be a short little race of 6 cars tonight. So just keep that in mind as qualifying is just wrapping up. As at the top of the board, it is going to be the 75 of Kinley Cheney, Brock Morris 600s off of that 75 machine, and K shouting you, Josh Arnold, last 2 running a lap, and Cole Steiner and Mark Kissweather not sitting a lap at all. But qualifying just currently wrapping up. Got a few cars out on the racetrack. Brock Morris being one of those. He just crosses the line. His lap. Key shot at you, Josh Arnold out on the track here, the Cheney on pit road. So that will end qualifying. So Ken the Cheney will be on the pole for this 14 lap event here tonight. And a little shorter race than we expected. So let's keep in mind this race will be 14 laps. So the race will be it will show 44 on the on our ticker tonight, but it also will only be 14 laps. Just keep that in mind. So that'll also shorten this race up just a little bit. That is basically just the stage event, as we're still wrapping up for the final little bit of qualifying here. There's got a few seconds left. But while they're grid up, we're going to take a moment to step away. We're going to take here from our sponsors.
At NJBDesigns.com, we specialize in transforming your vehicle into a work of art by revolutionizing the way you see your car with the hottest trends in sim racing. Choose from a wide range of colors, textures, finishes to promote your business and sponsors in style. Whether you're looking to add a sleek matte finish, a flashy chrome accent, or a custom design that turns heads, our designers have you covered. If you want to stand out in the crowd, visit njbdesigns.com today and let our team of professionals transform your vision into reality.
here to Sonoma as we're here for the Stampede Racing League as we just wrapped up qualifying and warm-up before we get to the races. Remember, it will be 14 laps. Let's take a look at our results, our grid for tonight's race. Starting the pole is the 75 of Kenneth Cheney. Alongside him will be the 05 of Brock Morris. Next will be KH Shotty on the 99 machine. Josh Arnold will start 4th. Starting 5th tonight will be, let's take a moment to load, Mark Kissweather, and alongside him will be Cole Center. And that is our 6-car field for tonight. We're going to take that hard left turn onto pit road as we are about to go racing. Reminder, 14 laps is all it is tonight as we are ready to get racing. 5 cars on the racetrack. Cole Center not electing to race, but the pace are down the pit road as we are green and we're underway here at Sonoma for 14 laps. We'll see who will be able to come out on top and win this race. Cheney, good start as KH Donahue goes off in the back. He goes off the grass at turn number 1. Full tires catch him out off guard there. Kenneth Cheney out in the race lead. Kenneth Cheney and Brock Morris, they were on each other's toes all race long, all practice and qualifying. So they were very close throughout the whole night so far. This will probably be close battling the race lead, especially they've been all night long. As keep in mind, only 14 laps. Oh, but Brock Morris loose in the back there. He goes off the grass, off the track there. And a big moment there for Brock Morris. Let's take a look at what happened. He just got loose there through the corner. Cold tires catch him off guard, and that's gonna lose him a little bit of time. So now Kenneth Cheney now pulling away as Mark Kissweather now in 2nd. Oh, Mark Kissweather gets loose on the final quarter though, and that's gonna cost him time. As that will be lap number 1, and Kenneth Cheney pulls away by a 1.5 seconds. Kenneth Cheney holds the race lead so far. About a second over Mark Kissweather. Mark Kissweather gonna close that gap back in. Brock Morris sitting there in 3rd. Work to do for all these drivers. KH Donahue using the import. Josh Arnold back in 5th. Let's go on board here with Kenneth Cheney. Just take a look at what he is doing throughout the lap, throughout the course on the lap. Kenneth Cheney down the hill into the S's here, so he goes up into the left-hand bend, slows it down, gets to use as much curb as possible. To the right hand side. Wraps that curve as perfectly as possible. Stays kind of a little bit off the wall, but stays close enough. Stays in 4th gear here. You see how he gets 3 shifts through the corner, up the hill. Down to 3rd, down to 2nd maybe? He stays in 3rd gear up the hill. Down through the S's now. Good corner there, keeps a little bit off the curb. Down to turn number 7, down to 2nd gear. So not going to be the 1st gear in any part of this racetrack. Short shift up to 3rd, keeps it close as he can to these curves. Clips a little bit of those curves. It's just riding those curves, staying right close to track limits, making sure not to over push it. That's the goal. But Kenneth Cheney currently holding the race lead, holding the speed so far. See how I can do over the course of this race. Stays in 2nd gear through here, but staying very defensive. Still pulls away. And kind of not pulling away Marcus, but they're staying there, just a few tenths behind him, trying to close that gap in. And this lap by will be coming to 10 laps to go. Only 14 lap race tonight in a low car count. And so that will also be counted for stage points as well. Mark Morris going off wide in the back. He's chasing down Ken Cheney along with Mark Kissweather. Now has to lose a little bit of time. Ken Cheney almost under attack here from Mark Kissweather. Mark Kissweather trying to close the gap, but Mark Kissweather clipped the curb. He's gonna spin off turn 7, and he's still trying to get it back going. Just take a look at what happened there. So into the corner, just clipped the curb just a little bit too much. Let's go on board with Mark Kissweather. So Mark Kissweather here going through turn 7, down to second gear. Turns out a little bit too early, he just clips that curb and spins it around. Now he is back rolling, sitting there in P4. We'll see if he can chase down K.H. Donahue, get a podium. But Brock Morris now 2 seconds back from the race lead. Try and chase down Ken Cheney. Now Brock Morris, he was faster than Ken Cheney practice, just a slab bit slower in qualifying. See if he has enough time. He's got plenty of time, still 10 more laps to catch Ken Cheney. So far, Ken Cheney holds a lead by about 1.5 seconds. This time out, coming to 9 laps to go. Ken Cheney, oh, wide through the hairpin. That's going to allow Brock Morris to close the gap in. Big gains there. Look at the lap times there. So there's the sector time, so we'll see. Sector 1, the gap's now down to a second between these race leaders. Ken Cheney holding the race lead over Brock Morris. Now Brock Morris 4 tenths faster than the first sector. There's last lap sectors there. Brock Morris overall a second faster than our race leader Ken Cheney. He's chasing down Ken Cheney as much as he can. Gap's down to 0.6 of a second now. Now Ken Cheney, he's going to have to go defensive as Brock Morris is on his bumper. Half a second now between these race leaders. These two are going to put up a good fight all night. The rest of this race, this whole race. We'll see how Brock Morris, how quick he can get by Ken Cheney as the tires are coming up the temperature now. Pretty into an optimal temperature. You have plenty of tire temp to push as much as you can now. Off of turn number 5. Past 5 and 6 there, and into 7. It's coming through the S's now, coming to turn 10. As this time by will be halfway through the race. Another reminder, race will only be 14 laps tonight. Down into the final corner, into the hairpin, turn 11. Brock Morris closing that gap down. Only a few tenths behind Kenneth Cheney. Halfway through this race, 7 down, 7 to go. Kenneth Cheney is going to try and hold off Brock Morris for 7 more laps. These two battle a lot and maybe make a little bit of contact. Could allow maybe someone like Cage Donahue or Mark Kisswether to close the gap in, as Mark Kisswether is trying to close the gap back in. His last time by, it was a tenth slower than our race leader, Kenneth Cheney. So ever since that spin, he's kind of been struggling with those tires, but Kenneth Cheney holding the race lead, trying to now pull away from Brock Morris. It's Brock Morris right behind. Let's go on board with that 05 machine. Brock Morris holding the race, holding there in second. Being patient, not being too aggressive. He knows he's a little bit quicker right now. He's going to take his time. He's going to set up him wide, just to try and carry him, send him more center speed. A little bit of better exit. Chaining, pulls away just a little bit. We do have a battle back in for third now between Cage Donahue and Mark Kisswether. This battle for third, so again, Mark Kisswether, he spun earlier. He's trying to chase down now, trying to get back to third. This battle still, the race is still going on up front. Kenneth Cheney pulling away just a little bit, but Mark Kisswether trying to close this gap in, trying to save it, take away third place from Cage Donahue. So that's up really wide there. It's a nice cut down through the corner. Try to chase him down. Just with a good run through the S's here. It's allowing him to pull away, but coming through turn number 10, we can Kisswether set up a move going down into the hairpin. Down to the bottom, looks down to the bottom there for a second. Not gonna be enough, but staying close enough to Donahue. Maybe try and put a little bit of pressure on that back bumper. Gap down. So this gap is pretty much similar to their battle for the race lead up front. You got Kenneth Cheney and Brock Morris battling for the race lead. Still, these two staying very close together. Brock Morris just can't find his way by yet. He's right there on the back bumper of Kenneth Cheney, really close to him. See the brake lights, front brakes glowing there. This time out will be coming to 4 laps to go. Brock Morris trying to close the gap in, trying to get there. This gap's down 4 laps to go, about 4 tenths between these race leaders. Is these two still the closest on the racetrack. Cage Donahue, Mark Kisswether, they're pretty close together as well. There's Brock Morris, he had a good run off in turn number 2 now. Now up through 3 and 3A, coming down the hill for turn number 4. On turn 5. Up past turn 6, 7. And we'll go into 7A. Kenneth Cheney trying to hold on this race lead. He's doing well, not having too much pressure. Brock Morris not getting too aggressive, trying to get by yet. Knows he's got plenty of time. Each lap ticking by is one closer to the finish. Especially when we're only doing 14 laps. It's off the final corner. Brock Morris at a good center speed. Good exits. Do the kink now. Kevin Cheney trying to hold the race lead. He's got 3 laps to go. Oh, Brock Morris locks up. He's going to get into the back bumper with Kenneth Cheney. And Brock Morris going to lose a little bit of time through 1 and 2 there. He lost a little bit of time through turn 2. He locked up going up the hill. There's the gap between these 2 leaders. There's the gap back to 3rd. Okay, Shawnee, as Mark Kisweather's pulled, just fell off a little bit. Fell off the back just a little bit. As Josh Arnold all the way back in 5th. Smart Kisweather about a second and a half back from Cage Donahue, but Brock Morris about half a second, well, a little bit less than half a second back from our race leader of Kenneth Cheney. But through turn 10, Brock Morris, can he close the gap down? 2 laps to go, this time by just 2 laps to go. Kenneth Cheney trying to hold off Brock Morris, as Brock Morris is now really putting on that pressure. He's trying to find his way by now. He's going up the hills through 3 and 3A. Down into turn number 5. Across the straightaway for turn 6 and into turn 7A. Brock Morris setting up wide, trying to get a good exit through the corners. 2 laps to go, coming to the white flag. This will be normally what the stage would be. 2 laps to go. Coming to 1 lap to go. Kenneth Cheney holding the lead for now. So a little bit of pressure for Brock Morris out back. But off the final corner. 1 lap to go for Kenneth Cheney. That's Kenneth Cheney. He's pulled away from Brock Morris by about 0.6 of a second. Brock Morris is trying to close the gap down. He's pushing all he can now. All he can get. Mark Kisweather got by Cage Donahue for 3rd. But Brock Morris now trying to get there to the back bumper of Kenneth Cheney. He's now within half a second. He's a little bit farther back than what he was a few laps ago. But Kenneth Cheney, all he needs to do is staying perfect out front. And Brock Morris running out of time. I don't think he will be able to get there. So just a little bit more time to Kenneth Cheney. That's Kenneth Cheney down the S's. Coming to the final time for turn number 10. And Brock Morris, 0.6 behind. Does he try something going into 11? Not going to be close enough. Cheney locks up. That's going to allow Brock Morris to the inside, maybe off the final corner. They're going to be side by side, almost off the exit. But Kenneth Cheney holds on. He got the run for the exit. And Kenneth Cheney is going to win, as we thought it was going to be. Brock Morris had a shot. But Kenneth Cheney locking up in the final corner almost gave it away. But Kenneth Cheney wins the race here at Sonoma. Oh, and Brock Morris has flipped upside down. He is not the race winner there. Oh, Mark Kisweather decides to pile into it as well. Oh, Kenneth Cheney, our race winner. As these results are going to be a little messed up, but Kenneth Cheney, our race winner. Brock Morris will be 2nd. Mark Kisweather will be 3rd, and Kate Shoney 4th. Josh Arnold will be 5th, as Josh Arnold is coming through the final quarter now. Through the final few corners now to complete his final lap. Josh Arnold. Around the final corner, he'll take the 5th place tonight. But Kenneth Cheney, our race winner, he will celebrate it. So might as well, we'll bring in our race winner here of Kenneth Cheney. Now, little abnormal race tonight, only 14 laps, the expected 44. Be able to hold off Brock Morris for those final few laps, and able to take the race win. But what was going to head there?
Curves, to be honest, I saw a couple of them behind me hit it a couple times, so I was like, as long as I just keep it consistent, I think I'll be alright. So definitely wish a lot more people showed up for sure, but it was still a fun race overall. So
it's another fun race to watch up front. But before we send you off on your way, Andy, special thing for tonight's race win.
Yeah, thanks for the High Side Podcast for sponsoring this car tonight. And yeah, thanks for SRL and the guys in here tonight running a clean race. It was fun.
Alright, well, once again, congrats on your race win. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thank you.
So that was Kenneth Cheney, our race winner. We'll bring in our 2nd place finisher of Brock Morris, as he was able to pick up 2nd tonight, but just not close enough. Not close enough. He almost had a chance at that hairpin there. What was going through your what was going through your head on those final few laps, trying to get by him?
Yeah, just looking for an opportunity. We were both, I felt like, kind of pushing and pulling, making mistakes here and there. But yeah, I was just trying to just look for a spot. I felt like I was a bit faster in the coming down to the short chute, that twisty section, and then going into the hairpin, I knew was going to be the best opportunity. So yeah, just looking for a spot, but unfortunately it didn't come.
Yeah, but you're still able to hold on for a nice 2nd place finish tonight in the shortened race tonight. But before you send it off on your way, any responsible thing for tonight's race win? Oh, 2nd place?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Kiefer Foundation, Race Deck, Kettering Esports, and thank you guys for broadcasting, and thanks Donnie for putting this on.
Alright, once again, congrats on your 2nd place finish. We'll see you next week at Pocono.
Alright, see you.
So, that was our 2nd place finisher of Brock Morris, and we'll bring in our 3rd place finisher of Mark Kissler. A little shortened race tonight, but you're still able to pick up 3rd. And you had a little mistake earlier in the race, but what do you think could have differently? Maybe go down and chase them for the race win.
Probably if I didn't hit the curb on the little short chute there. I was catching them, and Sonoma's not my best road course, but I think if I just didn't make that mistake, I probably would have had a shot to finish 2nd or maybe battle for the win.
You're still able to rebound and able to chase down Cage Donahue and still pick up a 3rd place finish tonight. But before we send off on your way, Andy, sponsor thing for tonight's 3rd place run.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Cheesy Designs, BWR Racing, and all the SRL sponsors for putting the race on.
Once again, congrats on your 3rd place finish. We'll see you next week at Pocono.
Alright, thank you.
So that was our 3rd place finisher of Mark Kissweather. Now, it was a little shortened race tonight, but overall, it was a nice, fun race to watch. And next week, we'll be going to Pocono for the Stampede Racing League. As before we get there next week, though, we'll have tomorrow night. We'll have the 5 Points Racing League Turnkey Network Solutions. They'll be going they'll be going to Pocono. Wednesday night, we'll have the Superstar Arc Cup. They'll be going to Myrtle Beach. Thursday night, we'll have the Undisputed Cup Series at Rockingham, and Friday night, we'll have the Inter Cup Series going to Kern Raceway. And then on Sunday next week, we'll have the Stampede Racing League going to Pocono. But so long here from Sonoma. I'm Aaron Brown from our shortened race here tonight. We'll see you next time here on the Legends Racing Network.